this entire series of raids against the opposition leaders, opposition parties, is this part of an anti-corruption drive very much central to the BJP's pitch, or is this increasingly more and more becoming a case of political vendetta? Now, this on a day when it appears that the Enforcement Directorate is moving closer towards arresting Robert Vadra. And they have challenged his anticipatory bail. They claim that he gave evasive answers. They claim he is not cooperating. They have cited 10 instances where he has contradicted himself versus the claims made by his associates, and 18 instances where they claim he gave evasive answers. Let's move on to our next graphic. The instances include Vadra saying that he met, or rather didn't meet, somebody called Sumit Chadha, but his associate says Vadra knows Sumit Chadha. Number 2, Vadra says he met someone called C.C. Thampi on an Emirates flight. C.C. Thampi says he met Vadra to Madhavan, PA to Sonia Gandhi. Vadra says he never stayed at an address called Bryanston Square in London, but C.C. Thampi says Vadra has stayed there. Thampi, all of these people are supposed to be Vadra associates. This is basically a case pertaining to his alleged Benami land deals, that he supposedly has properties in Dubai, London, Bikaner and the National Capital Region, and all these people are aides of his who have been questioned. So, let's go straight across to debate. Vivek Reddy, of course, of the BJP continues to be with us. Sanjay Hegde, Supreme Court advocate, is with us. M.K. Venu, founding editor of the Wire, is with us. We'll be getting someone from the AAP in just a second, and also we'll be getting KTS Tulsi, senior lawyer and Rajya Sabha MP, who's also the lawyer for Vadra. He'll be joining us as well on the show in just a second. But if I can just go across to you, Venu, what do you make of it? Because the BJP says, look, these people all have a dubious track record and we're cleaning the system up, we're going after them. So why are they complaining?
See, Vasu, I'll make a very broad point first before getting into the specific of this case. You know, the record of Enforcement Directorate in cracking money laundering cases is so abysmally poor, whether in this regime or the previous regime. I've seen them through UPA, I've seen them in Vajpayee's NDA. I'm told that about 3,500 notices they've money laundering notices they have issued in the last 5 years. There, somebody did a data this thing on it, and less than 1.5%, 2% is the success rate. So somehow the Enforcement Directorate has not been able to crack money laundering cases, money trails. Even in the 2G case, ED and CBI have not been able to crack the money laundering, the money trail.
You're making a different point. You're saying that it's not just necessarily about whether you're being selective.
Now I come to Vadra. I come to Vadra.
Yeah, you're saying it's just that the track record is not effective.
No, it's. I don't know how they investigate compared to other countries.
Right.
Sanjay would be in a better position because he knows the legalities of how they go about things.
Right.
The other point I want to make, Vasu, is that when Mr. Modi came to power in 2014, he clearly said, it was part of his manifesto and his promise that he will have a fast track mechanism to try cases, political cases. What happened? This has been going on for 5 years. So when will we? In fact, I've been writing that Vadra case should be fast tracked and done within a year.
Okay.
Why don't they do it within a year? You know.
Raghav Chadha,
or for that matter, other cases, you know.
Okay. Raghav Chadha, do you agree with the BJP's claim that, look, we were going after these people in Modi 1.0, we're still going after them? This is Mr. Modi saying, na khaunga, na khane dunga.
Well, Vasu, what I believe is that the blatant abuse of state instrumentalities and abuse of power that we have seen in Modi 1.0 and we will be seeing in Modi 2.0 is something that we've not seen in the history of independent India. Irrespective of the majority with which this government comes back, it's most vindictive and most insecure. And it's not just limited to political parties. If you look at anyone who disagrees with the ideology or the
if we stay with political parties,
we must stay with political parties.
I want to ask you. I tell you why, Raghav, because the Aam Aadmi Party was predicated on cleaning up the system. So, are you saying all these people who are now being raided and prosecuted, Vadra, Praful Patel, Kamal Nath and his associates, all of them, are you saying these people are all innocent?
Right. So, no, so exactly. So, I am not generalizing, but what I am saying is that the kind of vindictiveness that we've seen in this government, we have not seen that in any other previous regime. And it's not just limited to political parties. This is my fundamental point, that anyone who is alleged to be corrupt, and if that person joins the Bharatiya Janata Party, he gets a special pardon. The agencies don't investigate him, from Narayan Rane to Mukul Roy. But if there is anybody who disagrees with the Bharatiya Janata Party or is a critique of Mr. Modi and his style of working, whether it's Indira Jaising, whether it's independent news channels like NDTV, whether it's student activists, or whether it's bureaucrats like Alok Verma, if you don't toe the line of the government, you'll be harassed.
Okay. Vivek Reddy,
so therefore, the limited point I'm trying to make, and Vasu, let me just finish. I'll take 15 more seconds.
Yeah.
This all began, and if you rewind to 2015, this all began with the Aam Aadmi Party. They used the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi as guinea pigs. When in 2015, the bureaucrat, principal secretary of the chief minister was arrested. The chief minister's own office was raided. Several ministers were raided. And at that point in time, the principal opposition to BJP, the Congress party, clapped and cheered and lauded these moves. They essentially behaved like cheerleaders. And now this is happening to them, and they say that the agencies are being misused.
These days we don't have Congress spokespersons because the Congress has banned all its spokespersons. But Vivek Reddy, it is you're being vindictive, you're being selective, and you are handing out clean chits. It's a yojana. It's the NDA Swachh, politics yojana. You join the NDA, you get a clean chit.
Swachh Politician Yojana.
Swachh Politician Yojana.
Well, Vasu, I think
Mukul Roy, Himanta Biswa. Let's actually put that graphic up on the screen. Yes. Go ahead, Vivek.
Yes. Vasu, first of all, I think people like Robert Vadra had an impression that they, being the first family, they could do anything, they could loot anything and then scoot from India or not be answerable to the law.
Okay.
I think this has to end. A time has come when this has to end.
But what about the selective?
The other issue was, I'll come to this. The other issue was, in Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh, Kamal Nath and Kumaraswamy thought if the contractors were raided, their agents were raided, their aides were raided, Kamal Nath and Kumaraswamy came to the roads.
But what about the Reddy brothers?
Well, that money was looted money.
What about the Reddy brothers?
That money was looted money. The Reddy brothers are facing ED proceedings. There is an appeal filed by the government against Reddy brothers.
Right.
Against the acquittal of the Karnataka High Court. The central government has filed an appeal.
Okay, but overall,
after the election.
So therefore, there is zero tolerance.
Oh, when you saying the appeal was filed after the Karnataka election?
The saddest thing is, no,
after the Karnataka election?
Appeal was filed after the Karnataka election.
In the Supreme Court? No. Even prior to the elections.
Okay,
immediately after the acquittal.
Okay,
of the
I'll come to that in a second.
But the sad thing is, people like Kumaraswamy coming to the road and crying, where is my money? But that money is from the contractors. And that is looted money.
But what about Operation Kamala?
What
about Operation Kamala? Vivek, you're sitting in Bangalore, Operation Kamala 1, Operation Kamala 2. There was even Operation Kamala 3.
We are not doing anything.
What was the basis of those offers?
There is no Operation Kamala. There is no Operation Kamala. Believe me, this is all in the air. The coalition has been unable to keep itself stable. That is why this is happening.
Sanjay Hegde, that this is the comeuppance of those who've been feeding off the fat of the land for so long? Or is it political vendetta?
Well, you must remember this is now the 6th year of the Modi government. All these things have happened at least 5 years ago, or if not more. Are you telling me that over the past 5 years, all the money for electoral bonds came out of absolute Swachh Bharat? I have my doubts. But be that as it may.
3,000 crores, by the way, just in the past couple of months before the election.
Be that as it may, one thing I must place on record, I like the BJP government the way it is going after all these people, simply because it keeps us all lawyers happy and occupied.
What percentage spike have you seen in your own?
I
won't ask business. I'll say in terms of how busy you are in the past 5 years.
No. So that way the BJP government has been good.
Good for you.
For lawyers and for a certain set of people, operators who can keep people out of trouble.
Okay. But you know, on the selective point, Vivek, what we did is that we made a kind of gallery of all the opposition leaders who've been raided or have had cases booked against them in the past 5 years on one side, and those of the BJP on the other side. So just look at this. I don't know, Vivek, unfortunately you don't have the benefit perhaps of having a monitor in front of you.
Correct.
Opposition 35, we couldn't fit all of them in, or maybe we have fitted all of them in. 35 of them on one side. Guess how many on the NDA side? Vivek.
Well, tell me, Vasu.
3.
Tell me.
3. And one of them, by the way, is Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who's been exonerated in the Vyapam scam. Has been exonerated.
Well, I don't know if
are
you
we,
have
are we
all the
to,
entire
are we to
numbers.
believe,
I don't know if you have the entire numbers.
Are we to believe that this is how it works? What are the numbers? What are the numbers I don't have?
Well, it doesn't work like that. There
Let's
have
put
been
that
raids
graphic up on
equally
screen again.
on the BJP people
Yes.
also.
Yes.
For example, in Karnataka, there was a raid on Mr. Siddeshwar, who was a sitting MP and a former minister.
Okay.
There was a raid against SM Krishna's son-in-law also. So there have been
he's
raids
a
against
businessman.
BJP functionaries, BJP people.
Okay, so you named one more BJP
Yes,
person, we'll
but
add
S.
that to our
Krishna was
list.
a
It
politician.
becomes 4 versus 35.
So therefore, it is not that it is selective. This is one. The second thing is, Vasu, you must remember that Mr. Modi has kept corruption quiet in India at the union government level and at the state government level also.
How do we know that?
Who are the big sharks today?
How do we know that?
Outplaying with corruption.
Are you saying all the
Mr. Modi
BJP
has
chief
come with a resounding
ministers?
victory?
Are you
The
saying all the
resounding mandate of
BJP chief
Mr. Modi is
ministers?
on the plank of non-corruption.
Okay, we got that actually. Are you saying all the
Hello?
BJP chief ministers are all
Hello?
saints? BJP chief ministers are all above reproach?
Or approach.
Or approach. So they all, we've got a graphic there actually where it's all the chief ministers with a halo on their head. So is this the assumption that whether it's Yogi Adityanath, Vijay Rupani, Devendra Fadnavis, etc.,
Yogi Adityanath withdrew cases against himself.
Are all
But they were not
above
corruption
reproach.
cases. Let's give him his due.
they were not corruption cases.
They
yes.
were not
They were
corruption
cases pertaining to rioting and disturbance of communal amity and so on and so forth. But Raghav, would you say though that if it was not for the selective aspect of it, you would be on board with this cleansing?
Well, I would still be on board if the merits of the case are such.
Yes.
And unfortunately, over the last few years, these agencies have only been used to intimidate these people. Like, for example, when they went after us, when they raided the Chief Minister's own office in the end of 2015, ever since that day, not even a single charge sheet has been filed against him. Nothing was found. What was the purpose? What was the need? What were the merits of the case that propelled such a move? Now, what we see is that these agencies have been unleashed on people only to harass them, intimidate them, have them come into their offices, interrogate them, so on and so forth, and essentially, just keep them going with this whole, process.
Right.
Because as they say, that process itself is the punishment. They don't there is no finality to these cases. If, for example, I remember Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad held a press conference at the BJP headquarters and came out with a big magazine, a big book called Jijaji, and he said, look, this is a book in which we have evidence that Robert Vadra is indulged in acts of corruption. We have evidence, and the moment we come into power, we will put that man behind jail. We are in the 6th year of Modi government. What have they done? Is Mr. Vadra in jail? When they had evidence, when evidences were
Vivek Reddy,
given to
respond
them,
to that.
it was ran on media channels, political parties, and the India Against Corruption put forward all these cases before you, all these evidences before you. Why are the likes of Mr. Vadra not been jailed then? So they're very selective and they use these agencies.
Why is it taking so long?
They'll unleash.
Robert Vadra has been proceeded against.
Why are these cases still going on?
Robert Vadra has been proceeded against. He's on bail. Robert Vadra has been proceeded against. There have been cases lodged against him. There are ED proceedings.
Right.
He's
Is that
answering the
even
court.
a logic? Even if you file a defamation case against me, I have to file a bail bond.
The trial must be complete.
Is bail
I don't know
anyone who
the logic of
understands
this.
law
Vasu,
will laugh at you.
I don't know the
Reddy.
logic of this.
Anyone who
Can you
understands
say
law
he's
will
not in
laugh
jail
at
without the
you.
trial?
I'll come to that.
You should allow the trial to get
Even
over.
for a petty,
This
even for
government
an
has brought him
alleged
to trial.
a small
That's a great
crime of
accomplishment.
pickpocketing or that of defamation, you have to file a bail bond in court. Does that mean that you are out on bail? Does that mean that you have been convicted? Does that mean
No,
that
I
there
think
is
this Robert Vadra argument is totally
credible,
flawed.
substantial evidence against you?
Robert
Please
Vadra has been
understand
brought
law.
to the court.
Please understand the
He's been
process
made
of
to
law.
answer
Understand
on
how
a number of
the
counts.
criminal justice system of India
And
works.
he has to
before you
answer
make such
them. He
obnoxious
is
remarks.
in trial
I'm
before
shaking
the
my head
court.
because as far as I know, there is no charge sheet yet against Robert Vadra. These are
Right.
all at the stage of investigation.
Right.
Whether he is cooperating with the investigation, whether he is not cooperating,
Yes.
and whether that entitles the enforcement directorate to cancel, get his bail cancelled, that's a different question.
Right.
But right now we are still at the stage of investigation.
Right.
Now an investigation that has taken on for 5 years, I do not know how serious they are about getting it to some culmination, or they want the investigation to keep going on so that they have a showpiece in their
That they can keep
in their
bringing out.
target.
Yes.
Vasu, I just want to add to what Sanjay said. There's a person called Sanjay Bhandari who was also allegedly
Yes.
has some links with Vadra.
Yes.
He is absconding and he was proceeded against, and under this very government's watch, he actually left India.
Right.
Now he has also not been brought back. And another point, Vasu, I want to make: Enforcement Directorate has a history
Yes.
of officers going rogue.
Yes.
When they get politically empowered, a lot of them start their own agenda, and this has happened through the 90s. It has happened in the Congress regime. It happened in NDA regime.
Right.
And it's happened even now. And the PMO even
Well, we've seen-
recently did proceed against one of the senior
Well,
officers
we've seen
there.
what happened within the CBI. I mean, it was completely.
And
like
by
it
the
was
way,
almost
by
civil
the way,
war.
a CBI MK
But
Sinha.
Vivek, I want to ask you. Vivek, I want to ask you that again. Let me just make my position clear. Not for a minute am I suggesting any of these people are, holier than thou. The opposition, if they've done the crime, you do the time. I am on the selective aspect of it. I come back to that. Let's again put up that list of BJP chief ministers, and you tell me, Vivek, are you saying, hand on heart, that all these people are purer than the driven snow? Whether it's Yogi Adityanath, whether it's Vijay Rupani, whether it's Manohar Lal Khattar, whether it's all these leaders who are coming up
There are two aspects
on the screen. Who are
there
the
are
others
two
there?
aspects in this
Pema
government.
Khandu, Sarbanand Sonwal.
There are two aspects
Raghubar
in
Das.
this government's cleansing procedure. Mr. Narendra Modi has said, "Na khaunga, na khane dunga." So therefore, he has stopped corruption in the
How do
government
we know
today.
that? Are you
And
saying all
whoever are
these
the big
state governments
shots
are corruption
still
free?
moving around. Whoever.
Let me ask you about the ADMK.
You may doubt.
Let me ask you
may
about your
doubt.
ally. Let me ask you about your ally AIDMK.
Yes. How many raids were conducted
Multiple
on
raids.
Shashikala?
No, but I'm saying.
How many
do you,
raids were
okay, so
conducted
when you
on the
say
raids of Shashikala?
yes, and also I'm very interested to know what is the status of the case against the AIDMK after they joined the NDA. But I want to ask you. You say na khaunga, na khane dunga. How did you then partner with the AIDMK? Its leaders are, according to your own agencies, mired in corruption.
Convicted.
Vasu,
Convicted.
the question is, even if we have partnered with them, we have chased them for their corrupt deeds.
No, but how do you
First chase them and then
We have
partner.
also
First partner and
chased-
then chase
we have
them.
also
How do you
chased-
partner with a
No,
corrupt,
no,
if
no,
you
please.
allegedly corrupt
Look here,
party?
Look here, this was, no, this is, we have only sought their alliance because of the popular mandate of the people. Kindly distinguish the two.
How can
This
you
is
distinguish
a
the two?
reality, a political reality.
But then every leader against who has
But
corruption
we
charges
have
is
not-
popular. Lalu
we have
Yadav is also
not-
popular.
We have not been partnered
Kamal
to
Nath is
any of
also
the
popular.
misdeeds. We have not been partnered.
Arvind Kejriwal
partners
is
to
also
any of the
popular.
misdeeds. Well, Kamal Nath's problem is you catch his aides and Kamal Nath will come out and say, why are you catching me? That is
Okay,
the problem
Raghav
with
Chadha?
Kamal Nath. The same thing with Kumar Swamy.
Raghav Chadha wants to come in.
Well,
Raghav Chadha.
well, you see, these are all fallacious arguments. I think BJP came out with this scheme whereby every politician who has any stake or following in a particular region, that politician was proceeded against, agencies were unleashed against him, and he was given a very simple choice that either you will be booked under XYZ section and put in jail, or you come and join the BJP, because we don't have any mass leader in that particular region. And thereby you see likes of Mukul Roy and Narayan Rane were literally forced to come and join the BJP, and these agencies were actually used as political tools to ensure their entry into the Bharatiya Janata Party. So all these agencies are being very carefully and with clinical precision being used to gain political footprint in this country, expand BJP's political footprint in the country. And I would really urge that those agencies that are supposed to maintain checks and balances.
Okay, once again, what about Mukul Roy? Vivek, what about Mukul Roy? He joins the BJP and suddenly the cases go slow.
Wanted.
What about Mukul Roy?
The cases are there. People of West Bengal wanted the tyranny of Mamata Banerjee to end. And that tyranny is today ending because of the efforts of BJP.
But on Mukul Roy,
maybe maybe a stepping stone.
Why would you take somebody?
I don't think it changes with Ms. Mukul Roy's coming in.
Why would you take someone accused?
I don't think it changes with Mukul Roy coming in.
Okay.
Please note that Mukul Roy coming in or going out or he staying there has nothing to do with the criminal cases.
Okay.
The tyranny in West Bengal had to end. And it is being ended today with the efforts of the BJP.
Okay. One small point I want to make.
And Mukul Roy's cases will proceed.
Okay.
As per the rule of law.
A senior CBI officer called M.K. Sinha, head of the crime branch, has given an affidavit to the Supreme Court describing ED as extortion directorate.
Right.
What does that tell you about under this regime?
Okay.
What does it tell you about what's going on in ED?
You think that?
Well, sir, the big sharks are being caught.
Right.
Vasu.
Yes.
The big sharks are being caught. And that is making intolerable for them. They can't resist.
Do you
so
think
they are coming out and then crying against it.
Do you think that this will continue in Modi 2.0? We'll see the cases against all these
Modi
big leaders?
Modi 2.0. This is Modi 1.0.
Okay, fine. You call it Modi 1.0. But
and the operative portion is the same.
Okay.
The ability to say, "Ghar mein ghus ke marenge."
Okay.
So you go after whoever's house, you go after their relatives, their associates, and keep everybody in check. That's more or less the modus operandi.
Okay, so you're saying you don't see any change in that because according to you, this is not even 2.0. This is still 1.0.
This is 1.0, which is it's a continuum. Have you seen any change?
Is Sanjay Hegde saying
that's a separate debate.
They must be allowed to loot and just run, walk away? Is this what?
Well, he's actually saying it's good for lawyers.
He's
very happy.
I'm saying continue.
He's saying continue is good for lawyers.
You see,
Vivek Reddy, you're a lawyer.
Vasu, on a lighter note, my senior used to say, God put some big man in trouble and let him come to me. The BJP is doing that.
Mr. Modi is obliging. Okay, well, we'll have to see how it unfolds. We're completely out of time. But thank you all so much for joining us on Reality Check. That's it from here. Good night.